Hi guys, today we're going to talk about how to write a promotion speech. We require every 5th grade student to write a promotion speech. We also will require you to give your promotion speech to your homeroom class. Of course, we're not going to require you to give it at the day of promotion. We'll ask for volunteers who are interested in giving a speech in front of the parents, and then we'll choose from those volunteers. Okay, so today let's look at 2 different ways that you can write a promotion speech. So I'm going to show you 2 ways. One way is a very simple, what I would call a more basic promotion speech. It's what you would hear at a lot of 5th grade promotions. The other speech is what I would call a more sophisticated promotion speech. Either one of these speeches are acceptable, and you can choose which way you want to go. I'm also going to show you, there's going to be some video links that you can watch where you can watch a basic promotion speech being given by a student that's in 6th grade, not here from our school, and another video that has a more sophisticated promotion speech. So one of the pages you're going to use today is this page right here. It's a brainstorming page. It's a place where you can brainstorm your ideas for your speech. It has a few important questions that you can answer. And this is just for you. You can decide how much you want to write on this page. It's just to get you starting to think about things you may want to include in your speech. Okay? So it's things like, what lessons have you learned here at Mayflower? What special memories might you want to share in your speech? Things like that, okay? Then the other thing that you may want to use, and there's a link to this as well, is this page called Possible Themes for Promotion Speeches. So on the more sophisticated speech, a lot of times a more sophisticated speech has a theme, and that theme is carried throughout the entire speech. All right, well, let's go ahead and look at the slideshow. I'm going to walk you through this slideshow. You will also have a link to this slideshow if you want to look at the slideshow on your own. Okay? So this is the more simple speech, and these are the steps. So step 1 is basically to introduce yourself. Probably, if you're really giving the real speech, Dr. K will introduce you, but you should still add a few details like your name and how long you've been at Mayflower or something to that effect. Okay? So introduce yourself. Step 2. Oops. Step 2, if it's going to work here. Move on down there. So step 2 is talk about your first memories at school. So did you start at the same time as everyone else? Have you been here since kindergarten? Did you come in as a 4th grader? Sometimes students actually will give a short little memory of what they remember from each grade level, or what they remember from certain teachers they've had along the way. That's acceptable too, that you can do something like that. Okay? Then step 3 is talk about how much you've enjoyed your experience here at Mayflower, maybe lessons that you've learned at Mayflower. Okay? Step 4, you can do this if you want, again, to say a sentence or 2 about each teacher that you've had. And it is okay to make little jokes, but again, here's the thing about little jokes added to your speech. Too much of that, and then your speech doesn't sound professional. So when you make a little joke about someone, make sure that it's not mean-spirited and that it's kind, but a little bit funny, Don't do too many of those, okay? So they give you an example, and again, you can go through this slideshow on your own. And then this I probably would stay away from, which is talk a bit about other students. Like I wouldn't mention my best friend's name in the speech, but you could talk about things that your class did, or memories that you remember doing together, or fond things that happened during your 5th grade year. Okay? And they give you an example down there. How your class has become good friends, or if you have a theme going, you could talk about that as well. And then on this last one, you're going to talk about the future. What are some hopes and dreams you have for going to middle school? So, and it says discuss how middle school has helped you. You, of course, are discuss how elementary school has prepared you for what's to come. And then you want to thank everyone for making this a great year. And you want to thank people that are there, like parents and teachers and Dr. K. And so they give you an example of that. Okay. And then again, you can add a closing statement. So like they give this example. So on behalf of the class of 2012, I want to thank you again. You know, I just hope that Mayflower Elementary remembers us as fondly as we'll remember it. Okay. So they're giving that an idea. So that's a basic speech. And when you go to look at the videos, the boy, his speech is a really basic speech like this. And if you listen to his speech, it will really help you plan your speech. Okay, so that's speech number 1, really simple speech. Speech number 2 has more of a theme. So let's look at directions for speech number 2. And just, it's good, it's geared towards a high schooler, but it still applies for you as a 5th grade student. So let's go down here, writing your graduation speech. So first of all, they said brainstorm. So you can use that paper to brainstorm some ideas about what your school experience has meant to you. Like is there one big lesson that you've learned here at Mayflower? And that's where you might want to look at your themes. Because step 2 is, once you brainstorm, you want to think about what theme could you use as your promotion speech. And you might even want to try to find a quote that goes with your theme. So these are some different ideas that they have. I think the themes I gave you are much better. Let's look at the themes there. Following your dreams, changing the world, setting goals, looking ahead to the future, never stop learning. So whatever theme you pick, you're going to make sure that throughout your speech, you're talking about that theme for each of the parts when you're talking about it. So if you're talking about your experiences at Mayflower, you're talking about how at Mayflower you learn to never stop learning. And then you're giving examples of that. As we go to middle school, again, we want to never stop learning. And you kind of keep repeating that theme throughout your speech. Okay, let's go back to here. So kind of think about your theme and what lesson you want to use throughout your speech. And then they're saying, think of the hamburger method. Okay, the top bun is your introduction. So introducing your theme, maybe with something interesting and catchy, like a quote. And then you have your big ideas in the middle. And then your bottom bun is the conclusion. And they say you can put some jokes in, but don't put too many. So say start with something catchy in the introduction. It could be a story. It could be a quote. And you can read their examples there. And then in the middle of your speech, remember to make it interesting. You know, you can tell some stories of things that happened while you were in some of the different grade levels. Then you have the conclusion, right? And again, you want to talk about your theme again. Oh gosh, you guys are going to love the fact that this silly little tank and everything over here came up on the side. That's nice and distracting in my video. Oh well, it'll give you a little funny offer. Well, Walker will really love this over here, World of Tanks. Okay. So in your conclusion, you want to remind them of what your theme is and what your lesson is. And heading down to the next part is delivering your speech. So don't worry about delivering your graduation speech. We can talk about that later. Okay? Sorry that I got a little long-winded. Remember, I put these slideshows down below so that you don't have to watch the video again. You could just look at the slideshows. All right, best of luck to you in your promotion speech today. You're going to do great. Thanks. Bye-bye.